It's the reunion special part 1, denial, deflection, Dorinda. We're going to talk about it all. Let's get into it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
So good to be so young and have this fun and be successful. I'm so successful, yeah. And girl, you too, you are so young and beautiful and so successful. Yeah, I'm so successful. This ain't nothing.
Yes, a little Ariana Grande, because we're talking about successful businesses tonight.
Do you think Ariana supports other women?
No.
No.
No, she doesn't?
No.
Oh, well,
Ramona would be up
Not
in her
at
face
all.
too.
Yes.
she would be jumping out of her seat as well. We have so much to talk about. It is Wednesday night, AfterBuzz's Real Housewives of New York City after show. It's the reunion special part 1.
Oh, so good.
It was dark. It was good. We missed LuAnn. We have a lot to talk about. We are going to get into it. We have a fantabulous news and gossip section for you guys. We're going to be doing our tweets tonight, and we're going to talk about the fashion thing right away because you guys voted. Sonia Morgan retweeted me, and you guys voted for Sonia as best dressed. Can we believe it?
The hair. I think that's
I
what
think
throws
it was
off
the Bridget
outfit.
Bardot
Yeah.
lookalike
I
thing.
mean, but good for her. It was her dress. It was a Sonia Morgan original. So
Next
I
to
guess.
Bethenny, she was my favorite.
Yeah.
Bethenny came in as number 2, actually, as best dressed. I want to thank everyone who tweeted me, who voted, actually, because I did count everybody. And so I really appreciate you guys tweeting us and for being with us in the live chat and for downloading us on iTunes. We really appreciate that. We're going to get into it. We open up with Carole interrupting the entire opening with a text. The real reason she's not coming back next season. Andy is like, I am done with you.
Oh, the side eye was so real.
That and the fact that she said Andy was full of shit. We'll talk about that next episode. But for now, we open up with obviously missing LuAnn and Tinsley. They both were not there tonight.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, Tinsley. I was like, I could have sworn I saw her.
Tinsley was there, but was she really? She said 5 words
I mean,
tonight.
we found out about her haircut.
She got a new haircut.
Yeah.
And
She can do her
it.
hair by herself.
She can do her hair by herself. She didn't tonight, but she can.
Exactly.
And that was like the most that we saw of her.
Ramona
Yeah.
invented glitter gold. Dorinda has a trainer, and Sonia finally knows what a pescatarian is.
She said,
But
I
you
eat
know,
oysters.
Lian, she's eating a lot of meat on the weekends.
Is she?
We all know she's not skipping any French sausage.
And that's not vegan, ladies and gentlemen.
But it's grass-fed.
Exactly. We open up with the fashions, Halloween fashions. This show's been on a really long time. I've forgotten we're going way back.
Yeah,
Back to
it
the
took us from
beginning.
Halloween till the new year.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they all had on Halloween costumes, and we start out voting about that. It was a very weird reunion. Andy started it off with a lot of montages.
A lot of montages.
What is this? We had a whole season of horrible outfits, chain smoking, tone deaf racial stereotypes.
Yeah, and I can't. The people still don't see it, and it drives me crazy. Like
Everyone was blaming the lights and the camera.
I mean, no, and just like the afro, she had an afro maybe once or twice in her career, but to do a whole Marge Simpson afro like that,
It wasn't even a good afro.
No, it
No.
wasn't. It's just making fun of a
overdone, yeah.
legend. You can't do that. It's just not. It was tacky.
And I feel like it was kind of dark just to start off right away with LuAnn about that. I feel like we could have opened up with...
Well, what good is there with LuAnn? She was
I mean,
divorced.
that's how she stepped into the season.
You know what? Keeping it real over
That's how she
here.
kept
there's no good.
Keeping it
No.
real.
That was what she started on, and we ended with her back and recap. It didn't.
Exactly. I just feel like
God, I
the
love
whole
her.
overall tone, even when we tried to be light and talk about, the girls coming together or Bethenny coming together for Jill for the reunion, Ramona was like, it's opportunist. It's, you know what I mean? She was like, she was taking advantage. What do we think about that? Because
mean-
that was interesting. Andy says they were invited by
Yes.
Jill.
Ramona is one to call somebody opportunistic because, like, she is literally the most opportunistic on the show. Like, the reason she supports the other women and goes to their other events is because she wants the camera time and she wants to look good for herself. Like, Ramona doesn't do anything unless it benefits Ramona. And, like, Andy's right. We wanted to see the moment with Jill and Bethenny.
We did.
And, like,
Yeah.
Jill invited them to the funeral. Like...
And I think furthermore,
We needed to see it.
we also spoke about it on that episode on our after show. Like, Jill was Snapchatting on the way to the funeral. So, like, talk about, like, wanting cameras in this, like,
Exactly.
personal time. Like, Jill welcomed it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I personally wouldn't want that at any relative's funeral. But, like, if she was okay with it, then why is everyone else getting, like, up in arms over it?
Well, we have a lot to get into. Even our tweets and our news and gossip, it has to do a lot with this subject. We're not going to give it all away now, but let's just say that everyone had something to say about it. Dorinda said it was morbid. So I feel like we were just all getting off on a really dark note. Even Andy was bringing up how it was a good thing that Ramona... No, wait, I'm sorry. I was kind of confused. I like that Bobby and Bethenny were bringing up the montages and talking about how they were connecting, because I really feel like Bobby and Bethenny did have a connection.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was nice to see the montages. I love the montages.
It
that
was
they
nice.
do.
And I didn't really appreciate the women kind of like bashing her. Like, well, are you guys even talking now? Are you friends now? Like, I have a friendship that's estranged, and like a really big life moment went on within it. And I reached out and I congratulated her on like what she accomplished. But we're not going to be best friends now. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of takes time.
It
Like,
would
you
feel
can't-
unauthentic to just be like, well,
let's-
Monday, first thing.
Yeah.
But-
So, like, I just can't with like, oh, you don't even talk to her. It's
But
like, it's
Bethenny
not-
also introduced her to her daughter
Yeah.
off camera. Like, they have kept the communication open. Like, it would have been opportunistic if the only time she'd ever communicated with Jill was in a public forum
Yeah.
on camera. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, sorry about earlier. I was getting sidetracked. What I meant to say was, Andy was bringing up the fact that Jill was really involved in this. She even called him when they were doing the reunion. He said that she
yeah.
sent him a message. She's already trying to get back on the show and create storylines, saying that, oh, Ramona dated my current guy. Like, you know, Andy loves to hear stuff like that, and she wants to plant that in his head. He could
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
that could be a storyline.
New
Like,
season.
And also, I can't. Why do they all date the same man?
I don't know,
Is
honey.
New York that small?
It's not, and there's
It's
so
not
many
that
rich
small.
men that are probably better looking than the guys that they're dating. Like,
But
what
they're
is
too
going on?
busy dating the 20-year-old bimbos. They're too busy dating Tinsleys. They're not going to go after Ramonas and Jills.
I mean, I wouldn't go after Ramona either. Party with her, but not date her.
That's what I meant to say earlier, is that Andy was, you know, he was really stepping up for Bethenny
Oh, God.
throughout the entire episode, but mostly
Yes.
in the beginning when it came to the Jill thing, because Ramona was really adamant about starting a fight right there and then with Bethenny about the funeral thing, trying to make her look a certain way. But Andy was like going to shut that down, because he was like, you know what, we need to see that. It's Jill Zarin and Bethenny.
I agree with him on that note, but like overall, he was way too up
Way
her
too biased.
hoo-ha.
Way too biased.
It was uncomfortable. Like,
he
I understand
knows where
she's
his bread is buttered.
yeah, he
and
does.
they're friends. And they're friends.
He does. But you
It
just
always
gotta
went
let it
back to
happen,
Bethany.
though.
Sorry, it always went back to. It always went back to Bethenny and her response.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the whole episode, they were talking over each other. It was so annoying. I couldn't even really listen to who was talking.
I know. My mom, I talked to her on the way here. I was like, oh, did you watch it yet? And she's like, yeah, but they were just yelling all over each other. And I was like, oh, it's just an old woman thing. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. And I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I can't follow.
I couldn't even understand
I
it.
can't follow.
Usually I can decipher. I'm
Yeah.
good at it.
And it's
editing.
like, and it's just like they're all ganging up on her. So it's like all these voices like yelling at her specifically. So it's
Yeah.
just like if you're gonna gang up, like at least have like Ramona take one part. Like you guys should like strategize
Exactly.
this before.
Yeah, it was very like mean girl. We're gonna take you down because we don't like you and
Oh,
we
yeah.
think you're shining right now. And like it was very insecure. Like they need to stop sipping the haterade and like just take a half a Xanax and like just chill for a sec.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like we just started the reunion.
Exactly. Like, and I can understand Andy getting mad because he's like, I want to hear what she actually has to say.
yeah.
Right.
I agree with that. What I don't agree with is that how the episode was kind of edited to be not I mean, you could be biased while you're there, but they even edited in the episode. You know what I mean? Like, they made a whole montage about how Bethenny was such a good friend. That was crazy.
Well, I mean, in her defense, because I like Bethenny, but I'm not like ride or die Bethenny. In her defense, she is someone that is there for whatever reason, they confide in her.
Exactly.
And like, so there's obviously something about her that they
the
can
montages
trust.
always speak truth.
Yeah, so like in her defense, like she is a supportive friend in that way, but like she also isn't fake. Like, yeah, Ramona might be upset about, Mario, but she's not gonna go and have lunch with her and like, support her business because Ramona's just as nasty to her as Bethenny is. Like,
Ramona's very nasty. We saw the montage of her.
Yeah.
The way that they come at her, it's like I understand Andy cutting them off to like allow her to speak because they didn't let her say anything. I mean, she could have said the sky is blue, and they're gonna be like, the sky is not blue. The
Carole's
sky
like,
is
oh my
light
God.
blue.
Oh my God.
There are clouds in the sky, which makes it white, so it's not one color. How dare you say the sky is blue? And it's like, what are we talking about right now?
They anything she could have
ridiculous.
said was
And
wrong.
Ramona has been horrible to Bethenny. Horrible!
Since the beginning.
Ramona
From the beginning,
came in with
cue
an
the
agenda
montage.
because she did not do anything this season except for yell at Bethenny on the phone on that street corner. Like, she came in with an agenda and a plot to just like attack.
Exactly.
To like bring up drama because she's been quiet all season long.
Yeah.
So like this was her moment to shine, and she,
And you know what I don't get though? Like, I understand all of that, but I feel like they both have had their moments though, because even though Ramona has been horrible to Bethenny, they eventually go on vacation together. They do move along. They are on a show together. So I feel like Bethenny does keep the peace, but eventually you just have to. You're just over it. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like enough is enough. I know that this time you really wanted me to support you, but you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
You have been so rude to me forever. Cue the montage.
Yeah. I mean, Ramona said some nasty shit, like in their friendship, or not even friendship, but in their time of knowing.
And it is
one
what it
another.
is. But for some reason, on that couch, Bethenny ended up apologizing for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, I don't understand it. Bethany is the one that's the victim here when it comes to the Ramona situation. Ramona has been horrible to Bethenny for 10 seasons, and for some reason, Bethenny still ended up apologizing over the Christmas thing.
Yeah.
The Nutcracker?
Over
the skincare comment.
skincare.
Because Ramona was saying, like, even if it's not formulated, whatever, like, you could have just been nice. You could have said something supportive.
Well, you know what?
You plug
Maybe-
skinny girls so much.
Maybe she was taking a page out of Ramona's book and just saying sorry to move on.
No, I think she actually
She did.
meant,
I feel like she
meant-
did mean it.
Yeah, she's like, look, if you didn't feel supported, like, and you're upset, like, I'm sorry that I upset you. This is just how I felt.
Well, then that
She
speaks
said,
more
I'm not
so
the
to-
best
Yeah.
delivery person
Yeah.
sometimes. And then, you know how Ramona is. If you give her a little inch, she'll give you one right back. So Ramona instantly was like, well, we both have that in common. We both just don't deliver it right. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not sticking up for Ramona, you guys.
No.
I'm just trying to say that there's like a whole balance here. And Bethenny does play both sides. So we need to give her a little bit of credit, just a tiny little bit. She was really ganged up on tonight. I feel like everybody was going after her. Like, Ramona would have done fantastic in the Salem witch trials. She would have gotten a lot of people hung.
Yeah,
You
she
know what I
would
mean?
have.
She goes with the river. If everyone's saying this person is going down, let's take her down. Take her to
got her
anger.
pitchfork.
Louder
yeah.
than everyone else. So
Oh,
that
man.
always wins for whatever reason.
Throughout this entire thing, I just can't help and think about LuAnn. I miss Lou.
I don't miss her. We were saying, like, the reason, like, if she was there, I would have been taking a little bit more heat off of Bethenny. Like,
Yeah,
it would have
exactly.
balanced the whole, like, dynamic. Like, right now, everything's geared towards her. If Lou was there, it would be kind of a little bit more even. Like, Bethany's getting all the heat for
Everything.
So everybody move off the stove because it's time for Dorinda to lay down. Take the heat. A whole montage for Dorinda. I don't understand. I honestly do not understand this reunion. It was so weird. So much denial, so much deflection. Why are we having a debate on whether or not you said you're a drunk? You said you're a drunk to Dorinda
I
on
mean,
the
it was pretty
plane.
clear.
Even
in
Dorinda on the plane was like, I don't think you said that to me.
It was pretty
Like,
clear.
so much denial.
It was pretty clear she said, you're a drunk.
You're
like,
a
I don't
drunk.
understand the confusion whatsoever.
And then she brought it up at the reunion again, and Bethenny couldn't give a straight answer. And she could have been, she could have been a badass right then. It would have been like, I said it on the show, I'm saying it now, you're a drunk, period. Like,
I don't understand why there's, like, even Bethenny, why are you tiptoeing around this? Like, I understand everyone else. Like, I feel like they're all in
look
this,
at
like,
the
pact
montages. She's
to,
had
like,
a problem every time she's drank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think she didn't want to make such a strong accusation,
She
even though
already
she
did.
already did several times.
Yeah.
I think she was kind of trying to pedal it a bit and be like, I think you have a problem, but like I'm not qualified to say that, so like I don't want
God.
you
I
to
feel
gang
like
up on
if
me for
you
that.
already said it, you might
Yeah,
as well just
you have
like
to just eat it.
Exactly. You should have just eaten it.
I can't with all the
You have
other
to
women
finish
just like
it,
encouraging
swallow.
it.
I
Like they
know.
were so like when Andy was talking about it, like, oh, I love when she does this, and we all get drunk, and I'm like, but not you. You don't all get drunk and attack each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Ramona's like, you're not a drunk, you're drunk. Are you drunk? Because that didn't make sense. You guys are all drunks.
they're
How about
just
that?
So bad.
How
And
about they're all drunks?
It's that.
Except Carole.
Carol's
Carole
chain
doesn't- she
smoking
chain
and judging
smokes.
everyone from the side, okay? She ain't perfect. You know what? Obviously, she believes it. Now what? I just feel like Dorinda could have owned it. She really could have owned it. You look amazing. You have a trainer. Take advantage of the situation. Look into the camera and say, you know what? I had really bad moments.
Yeah.
I had some bad moments,
But-
and I see that now, and it was wrong, and it was disgusting. And you know what? I'm not saying I'm not going to drink anymore, but you know what? Maybe I won't drink that much.
Yeah.
That would have sounded a lot better than the giggling with everyone and the deflecting and the Andy going, well, it was funny, but it's not really funny anymore. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like someone could have been the truth bearer in all of this.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that just goes back to maybe they all like plotted against Bethenny beforehand, so like they're not willing to turn on each other.
Or
in
maybe
this
they're all
reunion.
drunks and they can't really point the finger
yeah,
either.
and they can't. But like I think that they were all just trying to have each other's back
Yeah.
in their war against Bethenny, and that's why no one was like, "You need help, honey." Like,
But it just really made no sense because then they were like, well, did you know she was this drunk? Why would you let her go to dinner? She's a grown woman.
that killed me.
Well, does Bethenny have to babysit you guys? Did we forget that she was going to Puerto Rico to help out 6,000 people without power, but you want her to babysit Dorinda?
Slash Bethenny had just as much to drink as Dorinda did, but she was acting normal. So like, let's
I
not
don't
like.
understand
I
this.
didn't get it. It was really frustrating. I was like, why is it Bethenny's fault? Like, why are you now putting this on Bethenny?
It really made no
Because
sense.
Bethenny just did everything wrong. Like Bethenny could not even though Dorinda was like this monster all season with alcohol, she was and
Yeah.
nobody said, well, Dorinda, like you were mean, you were this, you were that, like you shouldn't have said that. Everyone was like trying to gloss over it, and even Dorinda's like, well, you know, I get like that after 2 drinks. It's like
Then maybe you shouldn't have one.
yeah, like
And you know what? Maybe you're a lightweight, but you're still a drunk because you had 15 cocktails.
And
Yeah.
you're how old, and you should know this about yourself by now. Like, let's get like.
I feel like if LuAnn was there, she would have told the truth. She would have probably been like, you know what? How about this? We all have a drinking problem. I just came back from rehab, and the first step is acknowledging. How about we all acknowledge that we have a drinking problem here?
Yeah, and I mean, that's going again. It's like if LuAnn was there, it would have taken heat off Bethenny and would have pushed more heat
Yeah.
onto other people. Like, literally.
Would have
I
evenly
mean,
been
Bethenny
distributed.
has Sonia, but Sonia is literally just sitting there like a puppy dog
Yeah.
the whole episode, like not saying anything and just like, yes, okay. Like, so
even
it's-
if they all drink, who cares? But it's when you have a bad episode that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
but there
when
wasn't one bad. It's like several bad episodes.
several seasons.
And
Yeah.
then this season was the worst. So the fact that her drinking was brought to the attention like this season, it's like it understandably so. Like you were a monster.
Yeah.
Someone is saying in the chat, Shaboogies, that they're afraid to insult her because she's the fan favorite.
What?
Well, even if she is
Dorinda's
the
the
fan,
fan favorite?
well, even if she
No,
is the fan
yeah.
favorite, she doesn't get that behavior kind of
She doesn't
excused.
get a pass for that. No.
I don't think she's the fan
I mean,
favorite.
I think if
The Puerto Rico
she was
thing was the pinnacle. After that, she should have
Yeah.
literally been thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
How are you
I
going to
don't
attack
think-
a man of charity?
But I don't think Bethenny held her accountable enough by still allowing her to go to Puerto
Exactly.
Rico without
Well,
really.
Well,
How
also,
can, you
no
can't,
one.
you can't be a shitty person, too.
You can't disinvite her, but like you could have had more of like, because Bethenny continued to talk about it even when they were in Colombia, like about how bad it was, and I don't think she expressed that to Dorinda how bad it actually
She
was.
could have just
That
stuck to her
and-
guns on the plane
Yeah.
and been like, no,
and
you're drunk.
I don't think it was really expressed really to all the other girls what had transpired in Miami. Like I don't think everyone else really understood like what Dorinda said before until they watched it.
Well, they saw it
And
and at the
so-
They
reunion.
saw it and they came today and we're still excusing
Exactly.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
understand how they could laugh and be like, oh, she has 2 drinks, and Carol's all laughing about it. Bethenny was
Yeah.
the only one going, where am I right now?
No, it
Delusional
was-
Island is
it
where
was-
we are.
It was bad. You can't equate like you drinking and having a good time socially to someone attacking you for your, who you are. as a
Labels,
person.
labels, labels. I don't get it. God, you guys. Denials, chuckles. Good place or not, whatever this is, it's dark. And
Yeah.
you know what? Even Andy tried to get a straight answer about Dorinda's drinking. He went on for like 3 minutes, being completely interrupted by her. It was just weird. She said she felt heavy and unhappy, and that's why. And then Bethenny threw out, I've talked to you at 7 a.m. and you've been drunk.
And then
Yeah.
everyone got on her for that comment. Yeah. It was, I mean, I would have liked her to elaborate more on that, but everyone cut her off. So it was a little bit.
It was
yeah.
very similar to the cocaine comment towards Dorinda that everyone shut down
Oh,
right away as
yeah.
well. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a line and they're like, don't cross it. And everyone was doing that tonight with Dorinda's drinking. But you guys, you can't pass when it's been, like Zach said, an entire season of you behaving like a jerk.
Yeah.
I wonder if drugs were part of her incidents this season.
I don't know. Well, not internationally, obviously.
Well,
you don't
she
know
was
her.
in Colombia.
Maybe
Lian.
that's why they
She
all
was
have
in
the runs.
Colombia, and we all know her drug of choice.
I don't know. I feel like we just went around in circles this entire episode. It was so strange.
It was a strange episode. I mean,
It's like the Twilight Zone.
we
didn't
really,
get anywhere.
and we only really hit on 2 things. It was Bethenny and a little bit about Puerto Rico, and then Dorinda. So it wasn't
and Ramona's skincare line.
and Ramona's skincare line.
So Bethenny being unsupportive and Dorinda's drinking. That's what the entire episode was about.
and there was no resolution.
Tinsley got a new haircut. You
And
guys.
Tinsley's haircut. Yes, we cannot forget Tinsley's haircut. No.
And we see in the next coming episodes that Andy's asking her about her relationship with Scott, and he said, when you guys are on a break, does he see other people? And she says yes. I'm sorry, but she is getting played
Scott
by the chubby guy from Chicago.
Completely. Like, when did Homeboy that was like in Glee Club become the player
For
of
real.
Chicago?
Like,
mean-
and Tinsley's not bad. Like,
She's not, she
no.
is a catch for him.
No,
Like,
what I meant, like, she's not a badass. Like,
No.
if she was a badass, there would have been a ring on that finger.
Yeah.
Oh,
He would
yeah.
have been. He would have never, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
you know,
that's why there's no ring, because he's able to like go out and date.
a guy
when
would have
he's
been like,
not-
I am not letting
like,
you out of my sight. I'm not going back to
It's not
Chicago.
like
Look what I
she-
have right now in front of me.
It's
No.
not like she's really missing out, though. I mean, she is like in the penthouse suite.
Not anymore, honey.
Okay, she went down 2 floors, but she's still like it has room service all the time. Like, she doesn't have to pay for her $30,000
Yeah.
place. Like,
yeah, I don't want to talk about their relationship. There's like nothing to talk about.
I
Like,
know.
it's,
It's
just not-
crazy.
no.
It's as fake as
I don't feel bad for her.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it, you guys. Lou is the glue. Lou is the glue that holds it together. This episode was weird, dark. We didn't get anywhere, and it's because LuAnn wasn't there. Fight me on it. Fight me on it. She was not there. It was so boring. We could have talked about so many things.
I mean, I wasn't bored. It was just the power balance is. So
I wasn't bored,
uneven,
but it was just
you know?
like the entire show going after Bethenny.
Yeah, it was just
It was
very
uncomfortable.
uneven. Yeah, it was
It
very
wasn't
uncomfortable.
enjoyable. It was like confusing and frustrating.
But at the same
and not-
time, like this season, if you look back on it, there wasn't that many enjoyable moments. You know, like it wasn't like the group. Like the group never had a big kumbaya moment.
Yeah,
you know,
they
like
fought a lot. I
Yeah.
really feel like this season, is like the season that we need to get to the better seasons. Like now that Carole and Bethenny, they're on the outs, we can get through this season, and then we can see who's going to be Bethany's new best friend. We're going to see, we're going to obviously have someone new come in. Everything is going to be shaken up. This franchise is going to be shaken up. We're obviously shaken up with Beverly Hills having Denise Richards join the cast. So maybe we need something new for Real Housewives of New York City. Even Jill. Let's throw Jill a bone.
I kind of want like someone
But
new.
I want her to be a friend, though. I don't want her to be a full-time housewife.
I would like someone new.
She wants it too bad, and I don't like that.
And she needs we need someone that's a Bethenny ally. We can't have like a Bethenny needs a friend.
Exactly.
She needs a
Other
friend.
than Soundtrack.
Let's get into our tweets because it involves this entire episode.
Yes.
We have some really good segments for you guys. I love it. So let's pull up the tweets. Make sure to tweet us so we can showcase your tweet on our AfterBuzz podcast, and we'll shout you guys out.
Okay,
Chelsea,
so this
take it
one
away.
was mine. So as we were saying, this moment hasn't happened yet, but it is very obvious that Andy is so into Bethenny. The tweet says, Andy, if Teresa, Portia, Lian get out of the seat, oh my God, stay in your seat. Andy, when B gets up, smiling.
I know.
Like,
He
You
looks
live for
so
this
happy.
moment. When Portia or Teresa, he is trying to mediate,
handle it.
peacekeeper.
Well, because
not
he
for
knows
Bethenny.
that if it's like Teresa or Portia, there's
actually
a punch
gonna
that's
fight.
going to be thrown. Somebody's weave's about to get snatched.
True
Teresa
that.
going up to Danielle, do not mess with my family. This is Danielle's face, and this is Teresa.
Oh, I live for this
Oh, it was so
moment.
good.
Inches apart.
So this is from Love Andy C, one of my favorite tweeters about Bravo, and she said, we saw Dorinda film at her husband's grave.
Oh, yeah.
We saw Carole fly
Yep.
to get her husband's ashes, but it's not okay to see Bethenny at Bobby's funeral? Come on, you guys. I totally get what she's saying.
Yeah.
This is what I was trying to talk about earlier. We needed to see it. Ramona trying to make a big deal out of this was really, really stupid.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Another
next
fact.
tweet.
You got this one?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was reading it, but I wasn't. I was reading it, and I was thinking I was saying it out loud, but I wasn't. I was just reading it. Andy's got Bethany's back, and I'm 100% here for him shutting down these petty bitches. And that is from Bella Jews at JS Bella.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is definitely there for Bethenny. I'm not sure if I'm there for it 100% because I feel like he should remain neutral.
He should be very impartial, I think.
He should be, but he knows where his bread is buttered, and Ramona goes off the rails. Carole, we saw her call him out. She they all do stupid things that irritate him, where Bethenny really doesn't ever do anything to get on his bad side.
She's the good child. Is that what you're
she's the good
saying?
child, and she brings ratings.
Yeah,
and
she brings the
everybody
money
loves her.
in.
She's the Kim Kardashian of the house.
And they're never going to get rid of Ramona.
completely, and they can't get rid of Ramona.
And Ramona would never go anywhere either. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Ramona's the last child that you had by accident, and you just kind of have to keep him around because, you love all your
Exactly.
children equally.
So here's my favorite tweet of the night. It's by Chrissy Teigen,
Love
who's
her.
one of my personal heroes
Yes.
on Twitter.
Yes.
She says, I will do Housewives if I can have it in my contract that I don't have to do reunions. I think it would be a 3-part series of me crying and I can't wear a ball gown on the couch for 12 hours. I
feel
love
like
her.
I would only want to do Housewives for the reunions.
Yeah.
The
I'd be ready
reunions
for
when
the
you get
reunion.
buck
Yeah.
I
wild.
would bring the
That's
receipts.
yeah.
I would have my phone. Boom, bitch.
I would bring a prop like Kenya Moore,
Yes.
like a megaphone,
Yes.
a wand.
Or
like
Bunny.
I would get
so
a
many
fake
good
leg
moments.
just to throw it.
Yes.
my man waiting backstage to come out. Because they always have the men come
I
out.
love that.
The house husbands come out. Oh man, yeah, that's really interesting. Actually, out of all the franchises, I just thought about this.
New York doesn't do
New
husbands,
York
do
doesn't
they?
have. They don't
New
have
York,
husbands.
They don't have husbands, and they don't come on the show ever. Like right now, I'm dealing with Orange County, and Shane is
Oh, that is
in
so
the drama.
true.
Peter, Atlanta, always in the drama. I know everything about Bravo. Interesting.
Peter.
Interesting. Isn't this interesting?
Todd, yeah.
So it's interesting. We got Mario in the beginning of the episode. I forgot to mention that.
that was
Ramona.
weird.
I feel like Ramona did that
Bizarre.
on purpose, like
That-
walking
Yeah.
up with Mario so
Yeah.
Andy could talk to him.
So they still talk.
Well, they have a child together.
I
They're
mean,
going to
but
talk
she's
forever.
grown.
Yeah, but I guess.
That was weird.
Ramona's
weird.
always trying to look progressive. She's
Yeah.
always trying to look like she's hip. She's in the now. she can go out to dinner with Avery's friends and like be cool
Oh
with it.
God, that was
I was dying.
Don't. No. Next.
Let's get into our news and gossip. We have a lot to talk about.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, for our news and gossip section, we have a little clip.
Oh, I hate you.
Okay, that's not our news and gossip. But we will talk about that later. Dennis Shields' wife asked Bethenny Frankel not to attend his funeral. The shade. She said, in her defense, she was like, I don't want it to be a media event. But Bethenny was like, I dated him for years. I'm coming. Don't even think about.
And Bethany's known her for 20 years.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm coming.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the. Well, okay, are they
But weren't they
divorced or are they separated?
They're separated,
Separated.
but not legally divorced. But weren't Bethany and the wife photographed together at the funeral?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, that was her. That she
I
was
thought
hugging
so.
when Bethany was in, like, crying hysterically,
Yeah.
sobbing.
I mean, again, I can understand where the wife is coming from with the media circus and
Yeah,
frenzy.
totally,
like, you
totally.
know, this is a private thing, and she was never in the public eye. Like, she didn't sign up to be on Real Housewives of New York, so I get that. But you can't ask someone to not pay their respects.
Yeah,
Like,
let me
that's-
read what the article says. It says Bethenny Frankel was reported asked to not attend the funeral of Dennis Shields last Monday. According to a report from In Touch Weekly magazine, Shields' estranged wife Jill respectfully requested that the Real Housewives of New York City stars stay away from this service because she didn't want it to be a media event. However, because of her closeness to Shields, Frankel refused to stay away.
Good for
Of
her.
course.
Yeah.
That
I
was
would
her
have.
man.
I would have gone too. Like I would have been like, "Girl,
Good
I'm
for
not
her.
mad.
Look, I'm sorry. Dennis was on the show. Like, he
Yeah.
put himself in the public eye.
Yeah.
Exactly. So our next article is Ramona, and she says Bethenny became successful because of the show. So basically, Ramona's trying to say, like, let's stop giving Bethenny all this credit because the reason she's successful is because she's on Bravo.
You know what? Let's give her the credit.
Let's give her the credit because you guys have all put your businesses on the show, and
You-
none of them have blown up like
you've
that
all
yet.
had this
You have to put
platform.
the work into it.
You all have had this platform.
And Bethany's
it's,
been such a hustler for so, like, long before she ever
yeah,
had
Bethany's
the show.
cakes.
I mean,
it's
that was a
just-
thing.
But
She's
no,
been
that's-
trying. Bethany Bakes is what I
Bethany
meant.
Bakes.
Yeah,
That-
she's been trying for a minute.
That's totally an unfair statement to make.
Completely.
Just not. I don't know.
And you know what? The whole thing with Ramona is that, you know what? She has had a lot of businesses, and not a lot of them have come full through like Bethenny has.
Have any of them come full through?
I don't know, but I've seen Bethany's salads dressing. I've seen her granola bars. I've seen everything Skinny Girl at the.
I want to know if Ramona's still working on her formula, what was she giving people?
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's
but,
always
that's like the
some-
Kenya Moore thing.
Exactly,
Remember when
like
she had her hair?
water in the thing.
I did a thing for the Kenya. Like I did like a gifting suite for that, and I used the product.
How was it?
I feel like it stripped my hair. Like I feel like it made it dry.
Ooh, calling out Kenya Moore. Ooh, the shade. The shade. I love it. You guys, we talked about the fashion thing in the beginning, but I forgot to pull up a really funny photo of Carole. Compared to the Tin Man, it's really, really funny. This is it. How hilarious is this?
You're
I
so
mean-
ruthless.
Bitch stole my look.
That's so good.
How amazing
Her dress
is this?
is so bad.
Oh, Carole just dressed bad the entire season. Everyone looked bad.
Yeah.
That one montage when Bethenny was like, "What are we all wearing?" It was so true.
That was the worst dressed I've ever seen
Ever.
any group of housewives
Together.
I
So
really
bad.
don't know what
all
was
in
they
one
all
place.
smoked.
Like Luann's ruffly thing. It was not
And
a
who
good
asked
look.
Carole, do you have a stylist or do you dress yourself?
Andy.
And I was like, she's totally dressing herself because no stylist would allow her to go on TV like that.
And let's get one thing straight. Beyonce inspired from the Hold Up
God.
video. Because please, Beyonce would not wear that green stoned underwear thing under that. That black dress is a complete replica inspired yellow dress from the Hold Up video. But it's
yeah.
not the exact Beyonce dress. It's Beyonce inspired. Let's get it straight. You guys, let's do predictions because obviously we have 2 more episodes to go. And there's some stuff that's coming out.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Person 123, I've been agreeing with you all night, but not about the Carole's fashion. Sorry,
They like it.
she does.
No.
She said something earlier that I really, really, really agreed with. Person 123, because I am reading the chat. I forgot what she said. I'll have to go back and look. Oh, LuAnn is my favorite housewife of all time across any franchise. I completely agree with you. I've always been Team Lu. Lu is the glue that holds it together. I love her. She's fantastic. Be cool. Don't be all uncool. Zach, your predictions.
My predictions, I think Tinsley's going to be in the hot seat for like a hot minute, but other than that, we're not going to see her relationship with Scott.
Oh, yeah,
And I think other than that, the whole focus is going to be on tearing down Bethenny. And I don't know if we're going to see much of Sonia at all.
Yeah, I think Sonia's being very sheepish behind Bethenny. She's not a good hype person to have your back
she's just
whatsoever.
Like, good.
But she's saying truthful things.
I know, but she's just being like super dainty about it.
Yeah.
She's not being a bull. Yeah, she's not doing a good job as like your like BFF protector. I think that they're gonna continue to go after Bethenny, but the Carole and Bethenny showdown will be epic.
Well, obviously, it's still going to continue because Bethenny gets out of her seat and says, "Booyah, bitch!" So obviously, it's still going to go. So I do agree, it's going to be the Bethenny and Carole showdown. But I really hope that we get a little bit from each housewife. I feel like Sonia should have said, "Ramona, if you ever put your hand on my mouth again and mess up this face with your germ hands."
See, that's what I mean. Sonia's not someone you want to take into a fight. If you can't even defend yourself, oh no.
No.
Like, I don't understand what that was about. Like, I understand Singer, like, betrays you all the time, but you could have been like, don't freaking touch me ever again. That was so rude.
Sonia will get trampled over. She was in Atlanta or Jersey.
Ramona was on a roll. She's like, "Don't say I'm fake with your fake tits." And Ramona,
you have fake.
I know. Sonia's like, "Where'd you get yours?" Oh,
Like,
come
what
on,
does that
Ramona. It didn't even make sense. The whole reunion tonight was weird.
Bizarre.
These women, I love them.
I mean, we've had some more exciting ones. We've had them full of juice before, but when we're talking about Halloween costumes for about 15 minutes in the beginning, that's when you know.
Yeah. I mean, and the elephant in the room is missing. We're gonna. I want to hear more. I guess this is not a prediction, but a hope that we hear more about Lou's road back to rehab. It sounded like there was an intervention that Bethenny was a part of. So I would like to get a little bit more details into that.
I hear some tea at the end of that when she was like, "You knew she was drinking," and Bethenny was like, "Yeah, I did know she was drinking."
Yeah, so
there's some tea.
I'm hoping it's all spilt.
But LuAnn also was not necessarily saying she was sober.
Totally.
She was like, I thought I could drink a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. She's never said she was perfect, and she said she was playing it day by day.
Yeah.
But I really do feel like the door is left ajar. Like, we're not going to get full closure on this because LuAnn was not there. So I feel like this is the best it's going to get.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait for another LuAnn and Andy special. Not at the Hamptons house, somewhere else.
We're going to have to wait probably an entire year.
Shocker.
Exactly.
Nation.
Our own reunion special, yeah.
We're going to have to move on to something else. So hopefully the next 2 episodes will be enough to get us through. Hopefully they will calm down a little bit. Maybe it was just first hour jitters and maybe they were just hot right off the gate, but hopefully they all relax and we can actually hear and understand them. And maybe they'll take some accountability. Maybe Dorinda will just give us what we want because, you know what, she is one of the fan favorites. And after this season, who can root for that? I really feel like she needs to acknowledge a little bit of the behavior and just say, I had a really bad moment and I'm going to do better. Because we love Dorinda when she's good. We love her.
No, she was also awful with the Nutcracker.
Oh, yes. We didn't even talk about the Nutcracker.
Because they talked about it for 20 minutes. It made no sense. The text thread.
Because Bethenny thanked her, but it was off camera, and that's really what the biggest issue
I think the justice with them is they just think everything Bethenny does is for show.
And it is. She's like, hey,
we're on a show. I'm sorry.
They're all on TV, though.
Why is it about you and not my daughter?
It was about you, Bethenny. You were bouncing all over the apartment. But you know what? If you want attention too, why don't you bounce too? Why don't you start bouncing higher than Bethenny? That's the thing is you're on a show. If you're mad about someone taking the attention, take it from them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are on a TV show. We want to see the drama. So that is it for our after show. Obviously, we could talk about this all night long.
Oh, yeah.
Because we love these women, we root for this women, and we appreciate you guys watching us and giving us your comments. Give us a thumbs up now, because it's free content, got some entertainment. Make sure to catch us next Monday night. We have a lot to discuss next Wednesday night. We're going to be here. Sarah's not going to be here. We missed her tonight.
We did.
But she'll be here for the final reunion.
She will be here for the final episode. We'll all be wearing ball gowns.
Yes.
I'm going to be wearing Giovanni. Giovanni. Zach, where can we find you and what do you want to promote?
Hi guys, I'm Zack Peter. You can follow me at Just Plain Zack, and you can catch my podcast, #NoFilter with Zack Peter.
There we go.
Hey guys, Chelsea Stark Jones. You can find me on Instagram at C_S Jones and everything else that I'm doing in my life at ChelseaStarkJones.com. Yeah.
I am your host, Lian Castillo at Hollywood Lian. Follow me on Instagram. Check out the story. Born This Way debuted tonight. AfterBuzz had a great spot on it.
Yay.
Thank you to Kevin Undergaro and everyone at A&E. I had a fantastic time. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Yes,
Bye,
so
AfterBuzzers.
excited. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.